Let's kick things off with this line from a really insightful article on philstockworld.com. It just perfectly nails this huge and honestly kind of silent problem that so many retirees are facing. Are you accidentally dismantling the very machine that's supposed to be supporting you for the rest of your life?
So today, we are going to completely change the way you think about your retirement portfolio. The goal here isn't just to have a big pile of money. No, the goal is to build a real, durable, reliable paycheck factory that works for you, not the other way around. Okay, let's get right into it. There's this common strategy, the one that probably feels super safe and predictable, but the thing is, it has this dangerous hidden flaw that can slowly, or sometimes quickly, drain your portfolio, especially right when you need it the most. I mean, think about it. Your financial plan probably involves selling off a little bit of your portfolio each month to create your paycheck, right? And look, when the market's flying high, that works out okay. But what happens when the market takes a dive? Well, now you're forced to sell more of your shares at rock bottom prices just to get the same amount of cash. And those shares, they're gone for good. They can't bounce back when the market recovers. It's just like Phil Davis from philstockworld.com says, you're literally selling the golden goose. And, this isn't just some folksy saying. It actually has a technical name, sequence of returns risk. And what it means is that it's not just about your average return over time. What really matters is when you get those returns. A couple of bad years right at the start of your retirement, when you're also taking money out, well, that can do way more permanent damage than a bad market a decade later. And this slide, wow, this makes that risk crystal clear. We're looking at two investors here. And get this. They both start with the exact same amount of money, they withdraw the same amount, and they get the exact same average return over 15 years. The only difference, Investor A had some bad luck and hit a down market early on, and just look at the result. Investor A is left with barely $16,000. Investor B still has $74,000. That is the devastating power of sequence risk in action. So, if that old model is so broken, what's the alternative? Well, this brings us to this really powerful shift in thinking taught by Phil Davis, the founder of philstockworld.com. Now, Phil was recognized by Forbes as a top market influencer. He's one of the most read analysts on Seeking Alpha, and he teaches this exact kind of market wisdom to everyone from top hedge fund managers to folks like you and me. And the core idea, it's about changing your role entirely. This really just illustrates the whole difference. See, most retirement plans are set up like a gambler's. They absolutely depend on the market going up. It's all about hoping for the best. But the house doesn't hope. The house builds a system where it has an edge, where it gets paid no matter what happens on any single roll of the dice. It doesn't sell its assets. It sells access to its assets and creates its own cash flow. So just take a second and ask yourself honestly, does your retirement plan depend on hope? Does it need the market to always cooperate? Or is it a system? Is it designed to generate income no matter what the market is doing? So how do we actually become the house? Let's look at how to build this new model. We need to give your portfolio a totally new job. Its job is no longer to be sold off piece by piece. Its new job is to become a collection of income-producing assets, kind of like having a portfolio of little rental properties. The first tool for this is something called a covered call. Now, don't let the name intimidate you. The concept is actually really, really simple. You own a stock, right? Let's say you own 100 shares. Well, you can sell someone else the option to buy those shares from you, but only if the price goes up to a higher price you choose. And just for making that promise, you get paid cash, right now, up front. It's your income. It's exactly like collecting rent on a property you already own. All right, the second tool is called a cash-secured put. And again, the idea is so simple. Let's say there's a great stock you'd love to own, but you think the price is just a little too high right now. You can sell a contract where you agree to buy that stock, but only if the price drops to a lower price that you pick. And just for making that promise, for making that lowball offer, you get paid cash right now. If the stock never drops to your price, you just keep the cash. You literally get paid for being patient. So you see, the big point here is that these two tools completely change the game. Instead of selling your assets for cash, you're now getting paid for your willingness to either buy low or sell high. You're turning your stocks from these static things just sitting there into active cash flow machines. And honestly, this is the kind of practical, powerful education that makes philstockworld.com such a premier place to learn about this stuff. It's a real community to learn and connect, not just a news site.
Okay, now let's see how these pieces all fit together. Because we're not just talking about swapping one income stream for another. We're talking about stacking multiple streams, one on top of the other, to build that really reliable paycheck factory. This is the paycheck stack concept, and it's a cornerstone of the strategy Phil Davis teaches his members. You start with a solid foundation, good, quality, dividend-paying stocks. That's income stream number one. Then, on top of that, you layer your rental income from selling those covered calls. Then, you can add another stream from getting paid to make offers by selling cash-secured puts. You just stack up all these different cash flows to create your monthly paycheck without having to sell off your core holdings.
Now, I know this all sounds fantastic in theory, but the big question is, does it actually work? Well, this isn't just some clever idea someone dreamed up. It's a well-researched strategy that's been around for a long time. So let's look at what the objective data actually says. This is a direct quote from a research paper by S&P Dow Jones Indices, one of the biggest, most respected names in the entire financial world. And what they found after analyzing these exact types of strategies is that historically, they've been less volatile, meaning fewer crazy swings, and they've had smaller drops than just owning stocks by themselves. That is exactly what a retiree looking for stability wants to hear.
And this table here, this really drives the point home. It compares the regular S&P 500 to an index that just tracks a simple covered call strategy. And look at this. Over this really long time frame, the covered call strategy delivered almost the exact same return, but with about a third less volatility. Think about that. The same return with a much, much smoother ride. For a retiree, that's the absolute holy grail. So let's bring this all back together. We've talked about the hidden danger lurking in most traditional retirement plans, and we've walked through a powerful new way to think about generating your income. The real question now is, what does this all mean for you? So I'll leave you with this question. Is your portfolio working for you as one cohesive factory, pumping out a steady paycheck month after month? Or is it just a collection of spare parts that you're being forced to sell off to pay your bills? Because making that choice, deciding to be the house instead of the gambler, that could make all the difference in making sure your savings last a lifetime.